Hi, welcome back for Speech 2, Persuasive Speaking on Drunk Driving. I'm Larry Musto, and this is my audience. Today I'm discussing a topic that affects all of us and our future. 1 in 3 people will be involved in an alcohol-related crash in their lifetimes, and 50 to 75% of convicted drunk drivers continue to drive on suspended license. Alcoholism can destroy family, not just the victims, but also the person drinking. I've seen firsthand how alcohol can destroy the family bond, especially between a child and a parent. It is not something a child should have to endure, watching their parent waste away, drowning their sorrows with a bottle of vodka or Crown. My stand is not against drinking, it's against overdoing it to the point where all train of common thought goes out the window, well, like drinking and driving. Consider this: a person who drives under the influence and strikes down another person while driving is charged with manslaughter if they are killed, or attempted murder if they survive, leaving the victim's family to grieve or the victim to suffer the rest of their life with some sort of trauma. Scenario 2. If the person driving under the influence is driving and is pulled by a cop for suspicious driving and found to be under the influence, they may just get a slap on the wrist in court, such as a year of probation and community service. I've seen the same sentence given twice to the same person. I believe that if a person does it more than once, there should be a harsher punishment than just another round of probation and community service. Even if they don't strike someone, there is still the potential of it happening. On average, a drunk driver has driven drunk 80 times before their first arrest. In Florida, the following laws pertain to drunk driving. Vehicular homicide. Statutes providing penalties to be brought against a drunk driver who kills another person through the operation of a motor vehicle, either intentionally or negligently. Social hosts. Social host laws allow for adults to be held responsible for furnishing alcohol to those under 21 years old. Sobriety checkpoints. Sobriety checkpoints are an enforcement program that allows officers to stop all or predetermined vehicles to check for sobriety of the drivers. Preliminary belt law. Statutes will allow for law enforcement to issue a fine or citations on the sole grounds of a vehicle occupant not wearing a safety belt. Mandatory BAC testing for drivers who survive. Mandatory blood alcohol testing of all drivers involved in serious injury crashes who survive. Mandatory blood alcohol testing for drivers who are killed. Statutes would create mandatory testing for all drivers killed in vehicle crashes. Mandatory alcohol assessment and treatment. Laws that mandate all convicted DUI or DWI offenders undergo assessment of alcohol abuse problems and participate in a required treatment program. Ignition interlocks. Statutes will allow for a judge or an administrative agency to order a convicted drunk driver to operate a vehicle equipped with an ignition interlock device for a period of time following a conviction of drunk driving. DUI felony. Law that makes DUI, DWI a felony offense based on the number of prior convictions. DUI child endangerment. Statutes will allow for additional penalties for a drunk driving conviction with a child passenger in the vehicle. Administrative license revocation. Administration license revocation is the removal of DWI offender driver's license at the time of an arrest upon the failure or refusal of chemical test. .08 law. A law that makes it illegal to operate a motor vehicle at or above .08 blood alcohol concentration. For those of you who don't really know what the .08 law is, it amounts to the alcohol required to become impaired, but differs based on how fast you consume, your body weight, your gender, and how much food you have in your stomach. Below is just a few of the levels of blood alcohol concentration, what the typical effects and the predictable effects of driving from the National Traffic Safety Administration and National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. Blood alcohol concentration of .02, the typical effects. Some loss of judgment, relaxation, slight body warmth, altered mood. The predictable effects on driving. Decline in visual functions, rapid tracking of movement of target. Decline in ability to perform two tasks at the same time, divided attention. Blood alcohol concentration of .08. Muscle coordination becomes poor. Example, balance, speech, vision, reaction time, and hearing. Harder to detect danger. Judgment, self-control, reasoning, and memory are impaired. Predictable effects on driving. Concentration, short-term memory loss, speed control. Reduced information processing capability. Example, signal detection, visual search. Blood alcohol concentration for .15. Far less muscle control than normal. Vomiting may occur unless this level is reached slowly or a person has developed a tolerance for alcohol. Major loss of balance. Predictable effects on driving. Substantial impairment in vehicle control, attention to driving task, and the visual and auditory information processing. The ways to spot a drunk driver include quick acceleration or deceleration, tailgating, weaving or zigzagging across the road, driving anywhere other than on a road designated for vehicles, almost striking an object, curb, or vehicle, stopping without cause or erratic braking, signaling that is inconsistent with driving actions, slow response to traffic signals, example, sudden stop or delayed starts, straddling the center line marker, driving with headlights off at night, swerving, driving slower than 10 miles below the speed limit, turning abruptly or illegally, driving into opposite lanes of traffic on the wrong side of a road. If you see drunk drivers, do not try to be the hero. Stay as far away as possible from them. Second, do not try and pass them or signal them to pull over. It may result in an accident. Third, if possible, get the license plate number as well as details about the vehicle like make, model, and color. Lastly, pull over and call 911. Give them the location like the street and crossroads and direction of travel. Consider this: if you're drinking and you don't have someone to drive you home, consider the families of everyone you may injure, not just the victim, but consider this, what you will be putting your family through. Thank you.